My father had this one professor that was just very humble, very kind. He cared about the students. And my father was like, what makes him so different? And my father started asking more questions, asked his professor, and turns out the professor was a member of the church, and they started having discussions together, and he invited my dad to church, and that's kind of how my dad joined the church. Do you want to tell Mom's story?
I can tell Mom's story. It kind of reminded me what Elder Dieter F. Uchtdorf said in one of his conference talks, that preach the gospel always, and if necessary, use words. And with my mom, she was a young woman, and her uncle had joined the church previously, and her uncle invited her to come to the church and just visit and see. And she felt right at home because of how the bishop treated her. She saw him like preach and was like, oh, this is the pastor, you know, this is the leader of this congregation. And the bishop recognized her that, oh, this is a new person, let me go say hi. The bishop came down and interacted with her, asked her name, what she was all about, and got to know her. And she felt really at home because of that. She's like, he's the leader of this congregation, and he's coming to me. I'm just a 17-year-old young woman, and I feel at home. I feel loved. She was going back home, and on her way home, she crossed paths with her previous, or the church she grew up, with the pastor of that church, and they crossed paths without him recognizing her or saying hi. It was like, Merle, you're part of my congregation your whole life. And so that was a very contrast to what she felt in the church that she grew up in her whole life, and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, because of how she was treated. She felt recognized, she felt like they knew her, and she felt home, and that led for her to receive missionary lessons and to join the church. Our actions, the way we treat others, again, President Nelson, we just love him.
That's right.
The way we treat others matters. It matters. For generations now, that professor's example will bless all of our generations or generations to come. And that bishop who had come to introduce himself to my mom will bless our generations and our whole family.